Well, hello everyone and welcome to my highlights video of round 8, or the 8th race of the 2017 Formula SimRacing PRO series. We are here at Magny Cours. Sorry there's no highlights for Germany, but the reason for that was basically my race only lasted 2 corners, where I just got caught up in a crash at turn 2. So, moving on to this race, I wasn't sure what to expect, but then in qualifying, I somehow managed to qualify in P11, which I kind of shocked myself with. Seeing as in practice, I only managed like 13.8, which I'd been struggling to consistently be in the 13s in qualifying pace. But then in qualifying, I did a 1:13.6 and then actually did a better 1:13.6, which put me into P11. And so I was very surprised. That's a very good position, because this means I am the lead car starting on the prime tyre, which means that we have high hopes for this race. So, as you can see, we're just waiting for the rest of the field to line up. And you can see, we have the lights! Lights out, away we go. We get a good launch off the line as we head up into the very fast first corner. There's Jordi Lopez spinning in front of the flag to flag car. We have to kind of brake a little bit, and that allows Lorenzo Lucchidi past us. So now heading down, it's the long rundown now towards the Adelaide hairpin. We're not close enough to anyone, but we need to make sure we defend off them. We're just hoping that something goes down ahead that we can benefit from. But as you can see, we run a little bit wide, and that's going to allow Eugene Van Loggenberg through. So, we have dropped a position. Now heading into the fast chicane, we have to be very careful in the dirty air not to get into the gravel. Because once you get into the gravel on this track, in the fast chicanes, there's just absolutely nothing you can do to save the car, even if you only go a millimetre over. So, I was being really careful at this point, because the last thing I needed was to crash out this early on. As you can see, I actually did slide a little bit through there. But now, heading towards the end of the first lap, and you can see Ton van Egmond having a little bit of a problem ahead, but we're unable to capitalise. But now heading into the third last corner, we are hit from behind by Peter Schulze, but it doesn't cost us any time, so we end the first lap in P12. So now moving on to lap 3, as you can see, we're under pressure from the soft tyre shod Naranjan Kuma, and we should be far enough ahead to defend. But as you can see, the overspeed from the car behind, from Naranjan, means he's easily able to get past. We were struggling in a straight line, and we could do absolutely nothing to defend the position there. Moving on a few laps later, we have the F1 Champs car of Unai Sola behind us, now heading up towards the Adelaide hairpin. He gets into the slipstream. We are unable to cover off the inside in time, and he is able to easily get through. I was actually now in P11 due to a few drivers having issues and losing their wings or something like that. As you can see, we've got Enric Andre, who had a back of grid penalty behind us, and before we knew it, he was on the inside, and he was able to take P11 away. So now moving on to lap 19, Ton van Egmond has just exited the pits behind us, so we decided I'm not going to fight him because I'd just lose time to the cars behind. I was keeping a reasonable gap to Peter Schulze, who was the crucial car to defend from, as he's on the same strategy as me, or so I thought, because he was on the prime tyre. But then, heading into the second of the fast chicane, Ton van Egmond took too much of the curb and lost it, and went into the barrier, which gives us a position. Now moving on to lap 22, where we've been held up by Dave Payne, which has backed us into Schulze a little bit. As you can see, Lorenzo Lucchidi has exited the pits. We still have a reasonable gap to Schulze, so down the inside goes Lucchidi of Schulze, but look at that! He hits the back of us, and had we not seen him, then I think we would have been spun. And you can see I still have a reasonable gap, but I kind of muck up that chicane a little bit, and he goes for a look down the inside, optimistic look, but he understeers into us, and there's contact, and we are pushed wide, and that is going to allow Peter Schultz to through, which is an absolute disaster for us. Really not what we need. And on that in-lap, I lost time stuck behind him. So I came into the pits on lap 24 for the first of 2 planned stops. So I changed to the option tyres. And I exit the pits into P14. So still having a reasonable race, but I lost time behind Peter Schultz on those crucial in-laps. A few laps later, we have caught up to Gerloff de Vries, who has damage. But then Ivan Leonov goes for a massive lunge up the inside. And again, I think we did a good job to back out of it, because had we not, we might have been hit. But he eventually got by de Vries, which allowed us to have a go now. So now heading down the back straight up towards the Adelaide Hef, we have a run. Despite the top speed disadvantage we had, we are able to get alongside, and we brake a little bit early, but we're able to get the exit. But he is as well. We're going to be side by side up towards the fast chicane. Someone's going to have to yield, and eventually we have to yield, and he keeps the place. So now moving on to a few laps later, as you can see, we're again right behind Gerloff de Vries. Should be close enough to make a passing attempt, but as you can see, we're not gaining really that much on a straight because of our lack in straight line speed. So we go for the outside, but he was able to go to the inside before I could get to the inside, which meant he was able to keep the position. It was absolutely crucial that for this strategy to work, I had to pass this flag-to-flag car because he was holding me up. Now heading down the back straight, still I just cannot get alongside with the lack of straight line speed that I have. I tried to brake late and get round the outside, but he still has the corner, so he's able to defend the position. As you can see, we're trying to get alongside, but we then head into the gravel, which allows Unisola through. And Unisola had already made his second stop, and that showed just how much time I'd lost behind Gerloff de Vries. And as you can see, we're trying to get past the F1 Champs car. He's on the prime tyre, but then he moves across, and then we touch the grass. To be honest, I was quite lucky I didn't spin there, and didn't lose any positions. So on lap 38, I pitted for my second stop. But this was when I realised my mistake as to doing a 2-stop. So, I pitted for a new set of the option tyres. So, I exit the pits. I rejoin in P17 behind Balazs Galliard, who has yet to stop, and Jordi Lopez, who has stopped. But there are many cars ahead, like the Breslin cars, who were doing a 1-stop, so I was effectively in P16 out of the points, which would have been a disappointing result. But ahead, Jordi Lopez then hits Vergier, who goes across the track into Almeida, and that's going to gift us 2 positions. So we are up into P14. So now moving on a few laps later, and Lorenzo Lucidi has a spin at the fast chicane. I'm not sure what happened there. It seemed that he was moving over for a car and then he just lost it. But he actually rejoins just in front of us. Can't see from this camera angle. We are really smelling blood now. We are right behind the Netrex car. And for some reason he slows down quite a lot, and we are going to have a run going into the fast chicane, and we make it round the outside into P13, and we have taken that position. So we are going to finish the race in P13, but to be honest, we expect a little bit better after qualifying, but the combination of doing a 2-stop strategy and lacking in surround speed, so I was stuck behind cars and ended up getting held up But it could get better if Jordi Lopez has a penalty. I actually only just realised what Jordi Lopez did when recording this video to the two Breslin cars. So the result could get better. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. And I'm not going to be able to race in the next race in Austria. So, unless I do the Ace race in Austria, which I'd say is very unlikely, then my next FSR race video will be after the summer break in Belgium. So as far as FSR is concerned, probably we'll see you then. Goodbye.